The only way Forex works for working professionals. There's a reason most working professionals try Forex and quietly stop after a few months. Not because they are not serious, not because they are not capable, but because the way they approach it doesn't fit their reality. And that's the part nobody explains. Forex is often presented as something flexible. Trade anytime, work from anywhere, unlimited opportunities. And on the surface, that sounds perfect for someone with a full-time job. But in reality, that flexibility is exactly what creates the problem. Because when everything is available, nothing is structured. And when nothing is structured, consistency becomes difficult. I noticed this pattern very early on. Professionals would start trading with good intentions. They would learn strategies, watch tutorials, understand the basics. But when it came to execution, everything became inconsistent. Some days they traded, other days they didn't. Some days they followed the plan. Other days they adjusted based on how they felt. And over time, results became unpredictable. Not because Forex didn't work, but because their system wasn't designed for their lifestyle. Let me explain this in a very simple way. Imagine someone tells you you can go to the gym anytime. Sounds great, but what actually happens? You go when you feel motivated. You skip when you're tired. You adjust based on your mood. And eventually, you become inconsistent. Now compare that to someone who says, every weekday, 8:30 a.m., same routine, no negotiation, no decision making, just execution. The difference is not effort, it's structure. Forex works the same way. And this is where most professionals get it wrong. They try to fix Forex into their life without structuring it. So they trade when they have time, when they feel like it, when they see something interesting. And that creates inconsistency. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Forex does not reward flexibility. It rewards structure because the market is already unpredictable. If your behavior is also unpredictable, you create chaos. And chaos leads to emotional decisions, overtrading, hesitation, switching strategies, forcing trades. That's why the only way Forex works for working professionals is through a controlled system. A system that does not depend on motivation, free time, or how you feel, but instead depends on clarity, control, consistency. Let's break this down in a way that actually fits real life. Clarity means you're not chasing multiple strategies. You're not trying scalping today, swing trading tomorrow, something new next week. You have one system, one approach, one process. Because when you sit down to trade, you shouldn't be asking, what should I do today? You should already know. That alone removes a huge amount of friction. Now comes control. This is a part most people skip because it doesn't feel exciting, but it's what determines your results. Control means your decisions are already defined. When you trade, when you don't trade, how much you risk, how long you spend. So instead of reacting to the market, you follow a structure because without control, your emotions take over. And emotions are inconsistent. And then comes consistency. This is where everything compounds. Not intensity, not effort bursts, but repeatable execution. Because as a working professional, your energy is not constant. After an 8 to 10 hour day, you're not operating at peak mental capacity. So if your system requires analysis every time, decision making every time, high energy every time, it will eventually break. That's why the system must be simple. Simple enough to execute even when you're tired. Let me make this real. One person finishes work, opens charts, starts analyzing multiple pairs, checks different strategies, overthinks entries, and ends up doing nothing or making random decisions. Another person finishes work, logs in at the same time, checks one setup, follows one process, executes within 30 to 45 minutes, and logs out. Same market, same time, different structure. Fast forward a few months, the difference becomes obvious. Not because one is smarter, but because one is stable, and stability is what allows progress to build. This is why most people say Forex is risky. But what they are actually experiencing is inconsistent execution. Because when your system is unstable, your results will be unstable. Now, here's the shift most professionals need to make. Stop asking, how can I make more from Forex? Start asking, how can I make Forex fit my life? Because if it doesn't fit your schedule, your energy, your reality, you won't stay consistent. And without consistency, nothing compounds. This is exactly why I built the 3C trader method, not around complexity, not around constant learning, but around structure that works in real life. Clarity, so you don't hesitate. Control, so you don't react emotionally. Consistency, so results can build over time. Because Forex doesn't need to be complicated, no. But it does need to be structured. And once that structure is in place, something powerful happens. Execution becomes easier, decisions become fewer, consistency becomes natural. And when that happens, Forex stops feeling random. It becomes predictable, not in outcomes, but in behavior. And behavior is what creates results. So, if you've been trying to make Forex work while balancing a full-time job, the problem might not be the market. It might be the lack of a system that fits your life. Because in the end, the professionals who succeed in Forex are not the ones who trade the most. They're the ones who can execute clearly, under control, consistently, even on their busiest days. That's the only way it works.